Hey y'all, it's Jordan here today. Well, it's always gonna be me. Today I wanted to create a high screeching FM wobbler, still using Malestrome. I won't be using PX7 anytime soon, so for now I'm gonna teach you some old tricks that you can still get by using, I think Reason 4 still holds some of these. Well, yeah, I think it'll work in Reason 4. So if you're working in an earlier version than Reason 6.5, it'll still work for you. Because I'm not going to use any rack extensions. This is basically all the things that come out of the box without rack extensions. So, have a listen, we're going to create this wobble. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to open up a new template. And I'm going to, right off the bat, let me navigate to my patches. Custom patches. Because there's one thing I learned, and it's called Wolf Radar. There's one thing I learned, and that is the fact that if you don't get everything absolutely perfect in this patch, it's a pain in the ass because you can't get the right sound. So, right off the bat, create a combinator. Inside this combinator, you want to create a Malestrome. Oh, sorry. So, for our first and second oscillator, we're going to navigate to FM2. Make sure they're both on. For our range, we're going to set it to 2. For our velocity, I'm going to mess with this side of the patch because it's very critical that if you don't get these right, your patch can be sounding very different. Different is good, but let's see. For the filter envelope, we're going to switch it to 32, or as close as you can get it. And that's fine if it's like 1 or 2 knobs off. It gets it there. For our filter, we're gonna actually change that to 32, but 34 is fine. Okay, for our modulator A, we're gonna put up the rate a bit. Let me see, that should be 80. So put it up to 80. Turn on, I'm sorry, just move the pitch a bit. Let's see, that should be good. And for modulator B, we don't really need to mess with that. Oh, and I forgot on the mod wheel, switch it to A. So, for our first oscillator, we're gonna take the motion all the way down and put up the index about 15. Or as close as you can get it to 15. For our octave, we're gonna take it down 1. For our what is it? Attack, sustain, decay, sustain, and release. We're gonna actually move this all the way down and just leave the sustain all the way up. Do that along with the second oscillator and change the volume to 104. Turn on shaper and make sure these two are routed to filter B. Excuse me. So, after you have completed the first oscillator, let's go down to the second one. So you want to take the motion all the way down, the shift all the way up, and the index all the way up. And that should work. Let's see, for our filter envelope, we're actually going to change the amount to about 32. And put up the attack to 113, or actually 104. Decay all the way down to about 30, sustain all the way down, and release about, make it about 42. Make it a little higher, maybe 58. Okay. Now for our shaper, we want to just turn it down to about quarter. Our filter B, we're gonna change it to a combinator negative and turn it up about 96. Make sure to turn up the resonance, that's a big key. Change it to 32. Make sure this is routed to the shaper. And make sure envelope and keyboard are both on. Let's see, that should do it. Let's have a listen. That's perfect. So after this, we want to create a Scream 4 distortion. We're going to change this to feedback. Leave the damage control about 40. We don't want it too much. Take P1 all the way up and put P2 at that little second dash or quarter in this case. Turn on body, take it to about 40. Take the scale almost all the way down, but put it at 8. Turn the auto up a bit too, and change it to type E. Actually, we will be using rack extensions, so I'll probably put that in the title. So for our creative effects, actually utilities, go to Pulsar. Flip this over, go into the filter, modulator input, and drag it to LFO1. Make sure the level is all the way up, and change it to about 1/16. So it's starting to sound like our patch, except there's this patch actually sounds cleaner than the last one I previously tried to make. So whatever. So after this, we're gonna create an RV7000, drag the wet to a quarter and the decay to a quarter. After this, we're gonna create a equalizer and a maximizer. Turn on low cut. Parameter 1, take it about 187. Gain down, Q all the way up. For parameter 2, we're going to take it to 2.856. Gain down, Q all the way up. High shelf, take it as far as it'll go down. 3000 kilohertz is fine. Put up the gain to about 2.3 and the Q off. For the soft clip, just turn it to 127. Take off the limiter and put the release to auto. You can adjust the levels of the LFO1 if you're itching for something a little less harsh. So there you have it. You have created the Wolf Radar, or in this case, a high FM frequency patch. So thanks for joining me and have a great day. I'll see you guys Friday.